Good morning. How is everyone? Are we good? We're excited. I'm excited. Thank you all for joining us today. I am joined by what I would consider Snap royalty today to kick off. I'm really excited to kick off our entire day today to have a conversation about Snapchat. And I am joined by Emily McDonald, who is the head of creator partnerships for the UK and Northern Ireland at Snap Inc. Kika Asunde, who is a Snap star. You can find her at Kika in Paris. She is an entrepreneur, a founder of two brands, Good Hair Limited and Brass and Copper Official. And last but not least, Emily Canham, who is another Snap star. You can find her at Emily Canham. She is a lifestyle creator for fashion, food, beauty, and travel. So what about another round of applause for these awesome people? So we're here today because creators have been creating a quiet revolution and turning to Snapchat to create authentic content that their audience can't find anywhere else. So some stats that I thought were really interesting to kind of kick off our conversation. Snapchat has 422 million daily active users, 800 million monthly active users. You reach over 90% of Gen Z in over 25 countries, and more than 5 billion with a B, not an M, snaps are created every day on average. Wow. So if you don't have your notebooks out already, break them out, because I think this will be an exciting conversation. I want to start with UM. Snap has, for every reason that I've just mentioned, doubled down on investing in creators. And I would love for the audience to hear from you just some of the ways that you're enabling creators to really thrive on Snap and how brands can get involved.
Yeah, so I've been at Snap for almost 3 years now. And during these 3 years, we've really been working on and highly prioritizing our creators. So you might know, like 7, 8 years ago, you mostly saw publishers, but Snapchat is really a storytelling platform. Like, remember, we actually invented stories. So our creators are really our best storytellers. So as a creator, the way that you create content, it allows you to create like relatable, real, raw content because the app is designed in a different way. So you open directly to the camera, you're not chasing likes and comments. And Snapchat is really a creative platform for our creators. So that's why you'll hear from Kika and Emily like how they like Snapchat and the type of content that to create. But also, Snapchat, again, we've really have like the products now and the tools in place for creators to really make a livelihood and build a business. So we also have this program called Stories Revenue Share Program, which allows our Snap stars who are verified public Snapchatters. And how that program works is that we'll insert skippable ads in between their public stories and we'll share revenue with them. We also have a spotlight incentivized program as well. And we're also now really working hard to enable brands to connect with creators on the platform. So you might have seen the news this week that we've now partnered with amazing agencies such as Influencer, Billion Dollar Boy, Goat, alongside our existing partner Whaler. And that allows them to tap into our Snap Collab campaign tools, meaning that we now have an API, there's paid placements, there's brand tagging, as well as paid media boost. So this opens up a lot of opportunities for brands to work with creators. We've also seen in our Q1 earnings that small and medium-sized advertisers have increased 85% year over year. Yeah. So it's a really exciting time.
Yeah, that's
And
a few things.
Yeah, I know. And also just to kind of give you a bit of like examples. So in France, this brand called Cheers, which is a mobile printing platform, collaborated with 4 influencers, and they really saw an increase when it comes to business performance. They saw that the click-through rate was 7 times higher. And as well as we're also through our research, we've seen that Snap stars are really swaying purchasing decisions. So there's a stat that 49% of Snapchatters are more likely to purchase something when it's a Snap star that's in the branded content as well.
Wow. Stats on stats on stats. I saw people furiously writing, so I love that. Speaking of Snap stars that we're enabling to thrive, Kika, I'm actually going to start with you. And I'd love for the audience to just understand more about why you gravitated to Snap as a channel for you, why it's been successful for you, and why you continue to make content there.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, so I joined Snapchat in 2016, and I was already on other platforms, but I wanted to give my consumers a different side of me. So I wanted to be more raw, more real, and I wanted to show like the behind the scenes of running a day-to-day small business. So I will literally show you when I wake up in the morning, when I'm doing the errands, doing the post office runs, packaging the hair extensions, going to my client's house. And my audience they trusted me because they saw the process, they saw the journey. And with all this behind the scenes, I was able to grow and evolve my audience, because when it comes to selling a product, you have to trust, right? And Snapchat enabled me to reach a wider audience. And yes, I'll say the wider reach, and I don't gatekeep. So I will tell you everything. And yeah, so my audience, I built it based on trust, based on not gatekeeping, and based on just sharing everything.
Yeah, Emily, I don't know if you have anything else to add as well.
Yeah, I mean, I started on YouTube, so Snapchat for me came a little bit after that. And then I kind of dipped around, and I've been back on the platform we figured out 2 years now, which is amazing. And I obviously had that audience that were there from before, they've grown up. And yeah, it's just so wonderful to have a place where you can be incredibly raw. And a lot of what I do is incredibly unfiltered. I'll be on the platform. I know you're the same. We'll be there makeup free, in our homes, sharing our real world. And that's just so powerful for connection and for building a community.
Are people responding to that really well and saying, I love you because you are so raw, because you are so real?
Yeah, I mean, not in a sense of, oh, you're so amazing for being there with no makeup on, but I think it's more just we're able to have a level conversation, and that's so important. And something we were actually speaking about earlier is having an audience is this insane privilege, but not in a way of having this group of people that follow you, but it's more in a sense of you have like a built-in best friend. So if you want some advice, maybe you're in a shop, and you're like, okay, do I buy the white t-shirt, the black t-shirt? We can put that on Snapchat in the moment with a poll, or maybe we'll put it on there and then go and have a conversation about it. And we have an audience of people that firstly know us and know you have 6 white t-shirts, you do not need another white t-shirt. Or they know us well enough to know that actually you probably deep down prefer this one, get this one. And that is so insanely cool to have.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you started out on YouTube, so I think you do have an interesting perspective when it comes to the kind of content that works and the differences, if you can just speak more to that.
Sure. Yeah, so I started on YouTube 10 years ago. It was my 10-year anniversary back in November. And obviously with long form is so different to short form. The amount of hours it takes to create, edit a YouTube video is so different to what then I have to do to create Snapchat content. And as kind of long forms evolved, people want longer and longer videos. Back in the day, it was an 8-minute video initially, and then it was 10 minutes, and now it's like you got to do a 30-minute vlog for it to hit. And obviously that's not attainable daily. So for me, what I do on Snapchat, it's very similar in the sense it's very real, raw content, but it's more in the moment. It's every day. I have all the features that I need within the app to edit if I want to. Maybe I want to put some captions on the screen. I don't have to take anything out of the app, which is so huge for me. Efficiency-wise, it's the dream.
Love it. Kika, I don't know if you have anything you want to add as far as content that you're noticing.
Yeah, so I use the polls features a lot. So I ask my audience, for their opinions, and it works amazing. You get real-time results. And can I mention the...
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Say it all.
So the other day, I was in New York, I was getting dressed, tried to put on my outfit, it was nice and drippy, and I was like to Snapchat, okay, which glasses shall I wear, the green pair or the gold pair? I was actually legit asking them. And then everyone rated the gold pair. And then I think 5 days later, Linda Farrow, which is a British luxury eyewear brand, emailed me directly. And they're like, listen, we have never seen this in our lives. We need to do a collaboration with you, but not just any collab. We're gonna write Linda Farrow x Kika on the side. And I was like, whoa, me? They were like, yes. They were like, whatever you do, continue. Seriously, your audience, they are so invested. Wow. Seriously, I was like, wow. So that just goes to show you how organic it is. And I was just being real. I was not paid to promote anything. I was honestly asking my audience, which color do you prefer? And out of that, I've got a collaboration. So yeah, it's amazing.
Right reaction. That is the right reaction. That's what I did too when she first told me. So love that. And kind of piggybacking on that as far as like brand success, I mean, that was a great example. For the marketers and the brands that are in the room, I mean, what would you say to a brand that doesn't currently have Snap as a part of their creator strategy?
Yeah, I also just want to highlight one more thing about Kika, because this was back when she had around like 400,000 followers, and in one day she hit 118 million views. So if you're not working with creators on Snapchat, again, the reach is incredible, but we also now have the tools in place, like I mentioned earlier. We now have the Snap Collab Studio. So we have the API there. You can put paid media behind content. And also, again, like you mentioned, we reach 90% of all 13 to 24-year-olds. Mm-hmm. So that audience in itself is quite unique. We also, another fact that's interesting is 43% of our daily Snapchatters are not on TikTok every day. So you will also reach a unique audience. So I think everyone wants to hit all types of audiences right now, especially Gen Z. Mm-hmm. So that's one of it. Then again, it's a creative platform. So the type of content that you will see, like Em and Kika mentioned, it's them showing up every day, real, raw. It's relatable content. I think we all know there's a trend right now where I think a lot of people are a bit tired of seeing, the picture perfect, nicey aesthetic content all the time. And again, how the platform is designed is that it opens up to the camera, which really enhances people to be creative from the beginning of when they open up the app. And people just like show up more, like it's relatable. They show up for like, again, no makeup. They talk about different things. Like it's, again, a creative playground, because creators who has a niche doesn't have to specifically focus on that niche on Snap. They can show every size of their lives as well. And we started as a platform that was really focused on friends and family. So when you're in the app and you're looking at your friends and family content, and then you also see your favorite like celebrity, creator, athlete in that same type of format. So it kind of feels like you're in a group, like a friend group chat with your favorite creator, which I think is
You
really
said
unique.
you can't go missing, Kika. You said you
Yes,
could
I
never go-
describe it as that as well. It's like a WhatsApp group, but without the annoying auntie and uncle broadcasting good morning, you know? But I can't go missing because they're so invested. So if I go missing for like 2 hours, they're hitting me up on other platforms. Where are you? We haven't seen you. This isn't fair. We miss you. So I can't get kidnapped because my audience, they will find me and they'll find you.
I love that. And I know we talked a little bit about, you know, I think little things like, well, not little things, big things in the design of like opening up the camera right away. That just kind of makes it easier to want to jump in and start creating content. But I know, Emily, you kind of brought up this point, and I thought it was interesting that it saves time, Snapchat, to start creating content and kind of removes barriers as far as, I'll call it production, quote unquote, getting on the app, creating your stuff. So I don't know if you want to expand on that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a dream for us to be able to go from raw piece of content to posted content within minutes or seconds. That's not really the same on any other platform. But then again, I don't use Snapchat in the same way that I would use a social platform. So I think there is so much power as well in what we were saying about it almost being like a WhatsApp group. I think also the audience react differently and interact with us differently on Snapchat to any other social platform. They're far more inclined to respond to Q&As, to reach out, to message. As much as people are in my DMs on Instagram all the time, I do think there's that barrier of, am I going to see it? They feel a bit awkward maybe, and same for commenting on things. Whereas on Snapchat, it's exactly the same as if they're messaging their best friend. And it comes across to us, and you can see it just in the numbers.
And the one thing I also want to highlight is I hear this from both of you. Like, you guys also feel like the community that you've built, they're so positive. So Snap, we're actually the #1 platform, like the happiest platform. So a lot of our audience just feel like really like joy when they are on the platform and consuming content. So
I think this is why it's so different though, because there is no goal, there's no like goal, there's no view goal. You know, even if we post on Spotlight, we can turn off comments, we can turn off likes. It doesn't hinder us in any way. And even on stories, there's no like, there's no anything like that, there's no numbers. And I think even just like subconsciously as creators, I'm so much more relaxed on Snapchat because I'm not trying to achieve anything. I don't have to think about, you know, layering my content, this, that. It's just, what do my audience want to see? What do I want to share? How am I going to do that? And it's a lot of trial and error, sure. But I love the fact that I don't have to see a like amount or a comment amount. It's so much more genuine.
And it's overall better for our mental health as well.
Yeah, completely.
I was going to ask that as far as you all and your mental health and seeing that. And well, you kind of mentioned it, Emily. Just does that take away from anything from you as a creator, not being able to see those metrics in the app? And it doesn't sound like that's...
No, it doesn't take away. If anything, it adds. I think with you set boundaries, right, with anything in your life. And I think as you age, you set different boundaries. So perhaps when I started this, if something didn't perform as well, it would have hurt my mental health. It would have bothered me. Now, not so much. But I would say, like, wholeheartedly, not having those stats on Snapchat is such a benefit.
but you could also see, so how your audience interact with you is like, they can reply directly to your stories, and both of you are very good at communicating with your community. Like, you both do a lot of Q&As, and do you want to kind of maybe, because I know both of you like spend a lot of time giving back to your community as well.
Yeah, so I like when people come onto my channel for you to learn something and to take something away. I actually want to educate you. And I like to give back to my community by replying them. And so you can repost a question and then respond. And I like to keep their name in it. I try to keep it personal by referring to them by their name. And they absolutely love it. They feel like they're part of your family, you know. And I spend like 2 to 3 hours a day doing this. And I love it because a lot of my story replies, I get people saying that I'm getting them out of depression. I make them happy, you know. I'm bringing, you know, light into their life. And that, for me, is everything. It encourages me to just want to put a smile on their face and just, you know, yeah, keep them
That's
going.
great. That's a really beautiful way of engaging with your community and feeling like you're getting rewarded in a different way. So I really love to hear that.
Thank you.
As we start to slowly close, I also just want to leave time for us to just hear, like we've heard a lot today, a lot of really exciting things, and hopefully you all are excited and heard some new and interesting things to help you get engaged with Snap. And what are some other trends that we can maybe expect from Snap to come in the future?
Well, as you know, it's the year of sports. So the Euros is coming up, the Olympics is coming up, so sport content is going to be big. So we're seeing more and more athletes, creators who focus on sports on the platform. So, and again, that will give you like the real behind the scenes stuff. So definitely have a watch out for that. And then we will also, I see more and more of, brands now wanting to work with creators as well. So I'm really excited about the fact that we now have the tools in place for brands now to really connect with our incredible creators.
Hint, hint, coming soon. And Kika and Emily, is there anything that you would like to see from Snapchat in the future?
The only feature that I'll probably like to see is Snapchat Live.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, so like even though it's in real time, but let's just say maybe at this event now, for instance, and I'm streaming, I'm doing it live and I'm seeing the comments coming through and everyone can see it. Because Snapchat is so positive, I know there's not going to be no hate
so
there.
safe.
It's so safe, so it's not like maybe on other platforms where you see like negative, whatever. On Snapchat, it's pure positivity. It's like, yeah, go girl, So I would like to see Snapchat Live. Emily, put a word in.
I second that. That would be the dream.
You're looking at me.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I think if anything, we've provided everything we need otherwise on the platform. And just as many ways as possible to connect with our audiences in a safe way is the dream.
I love it. Well, before we wrap, I do have to share some exciting news. Today, we are officially launched and integrated with Snap's Creator Discovery API. So what this just allows us to do and what it allows you all to do as brands and marketers is source the creator talent like we're seeing today directly through the API, directly through our CreatorIQ discovery, activate those creators really easily and measure their success, which I know is really important to so many people today. And bonus, you guys can go down to our product lab on the first floor and check it out live since we launched it today. So please take a look after this. But I really just want to thank you all for your time. Please find these ladies on Snap. Download Snap if you don't have it. Add them. But thank you all for your time and huge round of applause again. Sweet. I will see you at the product lab.